My name is Catherine Njoroge. I have two daughters at Ubuntu. So one is Catherine Njoroge, who is in grade 2, and I have Alexis Njeri, who is in grade 1. It was my first time looking for a school. That was back in 2022, thereabout. So I'd never come across Ubuntu. So I think I was really fixated to another school, and I never bothered to look for a school. So when that time came and my daughter needed to join school, I went to that particular school, and for some reasons, they could not take my daughter because I'm a very firm believer that we should give kids time to stay home, sleep until they're ready for school. So my daughter was over 4 years and she was ready for school. So they told me that she has to go back a class, which we could not agree. So I went back to work, and a colleague of mine mentioned, please go visit Ubuntu. And I think the same day I showed up at Ubuntu, it was around 4-5 p.m. after work. And I met teacher Zipporah that day when I came. And so the first question she asked me is, how old is your child? And I'm like, she's 4 years. And she's like, 4 years based on the CBC curriculum should join grade 1. And the beauty about CBC, it's a self-paced program for the student. So they really don't have to move as a, ballpark figure as a class. So for me, it was really encouraging. I didn't even look for a school again. I settled for Ubuntu because I got the confidence that my child was to belong. And how many years later, PP1, PP2, grade 1, this is her 4th year in Ubuntu. I have seen the sense of belonging, as they say, Ubuntu. And number 2, someone who has grown from a baby to be such a responsible young lady. Don't even ask me about evening. You should be asking me about morning. Like when my kids look at the time and it's 6:45, my kids are actually crying that they're going to be late for school. So I'm really harassed in the morning, the fact that they always want to be in school early. So I think even when we drop, because I'm a parent who drops the girls to school, the warm welcome when they come in, the hugs, you can already tell that this child is very comfortable in school. And the fact that they have morning activities before class begins, they never want to miss out on that. So come evening, my kids are always excited about the activities they've done within the day, and they enjoy learning. Looking back, some of us did not enjoy school, but this was really, really enjoy learning. So even helping out on homework, you can tell they already have learned so much in school. Sachi, my firstborn, loves scouting. So scouting has also taught her a lot, which I can see. So there's this one time they went for a scouts trip in Nyeri, and they went for 2 nights. So it means we were sleeping in Nyeri. And ever since she came back home, my daughter has learned how to spread her bed every day, and she picks after herself. So for me, I think I even talked to the scouts patron to tell her to try train my second daughter, because that's the one thing that stood out for her. My second girl joined ballet. So I think she really loved the curriculum lessons, like the lessons done in ballet. So now she's, okay, not professionally, but she's actually doing gymnastics out here. So she's competing. So the other day she was in Breban. So that's one thing that she picked out from Ubuntu. These kids are very confident in the way they do their things, in the way they arrange, like they have a schedule they even do at home, because you'd find that they know they need to come home and do homework. After that, they'll go play and then come do dinner by themselves, take a shower and go to bed. So Ubuntu has given them that sense of responsibility, that they're very responsible. And I think the other thing that I have seen is the aspect of discipline. So being part of that program, they're really disciplined, and I give it to the teachers. Given that we are the guys who did 844, and now we have the chance of seeing our kids do the CBC, so I love the fact that CBC is self-paced, that our kids are able to move at their own pace. So you'd find For example, my older daughter is very good at math, and she's way ahead compared to even her sister, just because she's able to understand it. And if you look at my second born, she's very good at environmental, so they're able to move at their own pace without, having that aspect of, you're lagging behind. They don't have that aspect of being number last. So they enjoy moving at their own pace. So if one enjoys doing her mathematics, then she's very comfortable moving on with mathematic activities, while this other one can continue with her Swahili. So they're able to build their own path at a very young age. If I look at my firstborn, she's someone who is very organized. Like, that's one of her attributes. So her joining Scout gives her, the ability to go ahead and nurture that skill. So when they go out for Scouts, they're taught, how to be responsible, how to take care of themselves and others. And that's one of the traits that she has grown out of those activities. Because I understand now she's a class coordinator captain. Yeah. Since my daughter has joined, I've only had an issue once. And I remember I came in when I was dropping the kids to school. And I spoke to the class teacher, to my second born then. And she even took up the matter and reported it to the head of school, that is Teacher Zipporah. And Teacher Zipporah gave me a call, and it was resolved within the same day. So I really appreciate that if there's an issue from my end and they address it, and if there's also an issue from our end, they are able to quickly communicate, and we deliberate as teacher-parent on how we're going to move forward. For example, if we need to help the child, how do we move ahead and help this child to become better? So I'd say their responsiveness is quite good. Our kids make friends in their classes in school. So we are forced to become friends as parents, because at some point the kids want to hang out together after school. So my daughter will share my number with her friend, and the parent will call me and they hang out. So for me, I have gotten friends from the school community, because our kids interact and we have to interact as parents. And I think it has also gone to the edge of doing business. So for me, it's a community that I really treasure. And I think it's also a community that we bring each other together. So if you have another parent who is looking for a school, then you always encourage them to join the Ubuntu family. Because number one, for me, in terms of education, I can tell you they're really doing a brilliant job. Hacking CBC. CBC is very new to us, but I will tell they have a direction towards the CBC program. So number one, I really appreciate that. And I can actually see progress. When you bring someone to school, they don't know how to read, but right now they're very eloquent. For me, that it stands. And number two is discipline. So our kids are nothing without discipline. So the amount of discipline they input in our children, I really appreciate. And it's discipline instilled in the right way. It's not about beating, but it's about communicating to this kid that they need to be disciplined. And I think number three is responsibility. I really appreciate the fact that our kids are really responsible. Because I remember one time they called us to school just to, encourage us to make the kids responsible at home. So they clean after themselves, they can arrange a bit of their clothes, things like that. The director, she has done a really good job. I think we came in when the school was not too old and the community was very young, and to see them grow to where we are right now, it's a lot of work and effort. Even the teachers have done such a good job. I always say, I think the number one person we should respect is a teacher, because we bring in someone who cannot read, someone who cannot write, someone who cannot sit, someone who doesn't have their manners, and within a year, you have a well-composed child. So they do such a great job doing it. And above all, Teacher Zipporah. So she's always encouraging us. Sometimes I want to feel as if my child doesn't, know how to read. I'm wondering, she has been in school for 1 year, she can't read. And, she'll always give you the comfort that let's not push them too hard, as long as you're making the progress. And it's true, because 2-3 years down the line, you have a very different child. So just encouraging us as parents to, keep on doing the good job and be patient. It gives us a lot of peace. Yeah.